Well, that was the most painless de-stickering I think I've ever had, or at least in recent memory. They pretty much peeled off. Little bits of leftover. I'll use a bit of lighter fluid on there, but they just peeled straight off. All in one piece, more or less. Excellent. Right. So that's some de-stickered and de-stickied. Got the residual goo off. There might be tiny little traces left, but that'll come off in the wash, so to speak. So I'll still give it a hot water and hot safety water wash down all the bits after I've taken it all apart. Watch this space. Howdy all. Right, I'm going to make a start now on Mastodon. Now, I have already de-stickered and sanded its head a bit, so we don't have to worry about that. That's okay. So, yeah, it just clicks off, so put them to one side. Now, the Mastodon is going to be far trickier than it looks, because you got multiple parts of articulation, you got multiple joints, multiple screws, all hidden and dependent on, counted by these, the shoulder, I call them the shoulder pads, but yeah, the shoulder flares. It all gets pinned in by that, so you have to undo those, daisy chain effect. But we're going to start with just his feet. They're easy enough. The screws you can see on the inside there. Make sure you keep hold of these screws. They can sometimes decide to kind of stay in the, there we go, stick in there. Super magnet again. Off, let go. Right. That's the easy bit. Those little booties. So now, one arm at a time. I will also point out, this guy, like the others, has got gripper pins going through. Quite how we're going to get to those, I don't think we are. I think we're going to leave those. There's a tube embedded in. So there's a part of, if you can see that, you get the top pin there, and it runs all the way through. But there's plastic in the way there, so we can't even get to those pins. So I'll have to come back to that. Right. I hope this won't take too long, but as I said, we're not going to worry about these pins. What I'll probably do is mask these parts off and not paint them, because that's what clips around the Tyrannosaurus to actually make the Megazord, and they clip down and close anyway, so you don't see them. So let's start the deconstruction. Again, one arm at a time. We start with the screws just in the shoulder pads. I know they're not actually shoulder pads, but okay, that's just that. Those just slide off, and now I tackle a little screw down in that joint just there. Something else I was going to say, you occasionally get, especially seeing that they're 30 odd years old, I'm not going to find one now, am I? you may find some screws, the heads have gone a tiny bit rusty or tarnished. Don't worry about that. Actually, I got ahead of myself. We don't start there. We need to go, excuse me. We need to go here on the shoulders. Hopefully you can see that okay. There's 2 screw holes either side. I need to take those out, so I need a longer screwdriver just to carefully get past. And something you must remember is after I've painted, after I've repainted, must be very careful. There we go. 2 screws there, put them on the super magnet. What I was saying is, I must have to be very careful I don't go and scratch everything up, putting it all back together. So that pops off there. Now you got to be careful here, because these plastic clips, hold those there, those plastic clips, they are just loose fitting and they will go ping like everything else. So keep them safely to one side. So now we've got that leg off. Then we take that screw out. And then, I don't need a long screwdriver for that. And then take the screws out from the leg here and here. Oops. Out you come on the super magnet. Out you come on the super magnet. Now, before we pop this apart, there's another clip there. So keep it level and just gently, it should just pop. Might take a bit of persuasion, especially after 30 years. There we go. Whoop. Yeah, exactly. So keep an eye on those. Yep, there we go. Now that popped off as well, so we've got another spring type clicker joint on the elbow there. It goes on that axle. So again, keep them to one side. That shoulder piece unclicks. As you see, you'll notice. See that? Can you see that? There are tabs on the side there. And those fit in, snug back into the shoulder joint. Don't take it for granted though, because that could fall off and go flying off if you're not careful. Now, for the purposes of painting, I'll take this off. So we've got another clicker joint there, very big. Another flange screw, spring and clicker, same sort of setup. This flange screw is much bigger, much longer should I say, than other ones. Once again, keep those together. So now there's that shoulder joint. The foot will just slide off, and then we undo. We've got an elbow joint. There's a knee joint really. Or flange screws. Make sure you keep hold of those. Don't lose those, because you can't just interchange with a normal screw. So that's those joints. We'll repeat the process again. Keep that flange screw. So on try and separate out the different colored bits. So black parts, grey parts. Now repeat the process again. Should I say the entire process? And I have to say, I originally thought the Mastodon would be the most straightforward. Gosh, I was wrong. I did a couple of rehearsals, if you like, and it took a lot longer to figure out, should I say, because it's so very fiddly. Mainly because it's these double hinge joints. So remember, you got those screws there. Hopefully you can see those. I'm just going to try. Oops, hello. Yep, there we go. Those plastic clips again. After I undid that, I didn't keep quite enough grip on that, so those popped out. But that's okay. Always keep an eye on those. Those cannot be replaced very easily. Right. So now we've done that. And same again. Take these screws out. I have to say, after watching the 30th anniversary special, I hope you guys have all watched that. It's very cool. Did the best they could with the resources, etc. But I have to say, I got a bigger respect for now for Zach and Billy. Oh, camera thing. It will come off. Again, just got to be careful. You don't want to snap it at the. You don't want to force it off. You will notice. I don't know if you can see that. There is a slightly. There's an obscured screw in there. Don't be tempted to drive a screwdriver in there and try and undo that. Excuse me. Otherwise you'd be in a world of pain. Right. Another red clip. And that arm. That's it. Oops. Yeah, I shot myself in the foot there. Another red clicker spring side. Sometimes these take a little bit of 10%. There we go. So again, oops, there we go. And screw spring and clicker piece. Keep those handy. I say handy very casually. They're critical to the operation. So if you lose those, you're buggered. Same with the clips. You're a bit buggered. If you break any of these parts, you're a bit buggered. And it will not be a good day. Right. So now let's take that screw off. Another again, a little flange head. Take that leg off. Separate that. Right. Now, those little booties, smaller feet, they're just hollow. They don't unscrew. That's okay. Your back legs, you need to unscrew those. Watch out for this blue clip bit. If I remember correctly, I think that's for the cannons. Or no, I don't think it's for the cannons. I think those slots on the booties are for the cannons. Oops. Pop that open. And again, a little blue plastic ring in there. Don't lose that. otherwise you'll start having a bad day later on. There we go. This should be the final little bit. Catch cam. Screw cluster on it. Benefit of one of these little super magnets, keeps everything together, but don't let it get near your screw. Don't let it get near the screwdriver bit, etc. It'll drive you nuts. And again, same again. Pop that apart. There's the second blue ring. Whew. And there we have it. Mastodon disassembled. Now, I did do the head earlier. Now the tusks, they obviously just pop out, as does the trunk. So again, don't lose those. Now, the back of the head is this red clip. That's what clips it onto the main body. Here's a spare. There one. Once it clips it onto the main body. And this bar, this is when the Megazord figure uses it as a shield. Because obviously when the Mastodon is wrapped around the Tyrannosaurus, what happens to his head? And for those eagle-eyed viewers, there's a bit of trivia. The Megazord in the original TV series, I believe he used the shield, used Mastodon head as a shield a couple of times. I believe it was green. Was it the green with envy? Green with evil, should I say? He uses the shield against the Green Ranger. Kazaa. So there we go. Right, and I've already, as I said before, I've already sanded him down, ready for priming. But I'm not going to take these bits out. I'll just mask that off before painting, and we just might use that as it comes in handy as a little stand for painting. So there we go. Right. Okay, that's that deconstruction part complete. Wash the space, and when it's painted and ready for reconstruction. Catch you later. May the power protect you all.